welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Ready for the kickoff, week 2 here in Charlotte. Unseasonably cool for this time of year, 70 degrees, and there's Jim Caldwell, whose first head coaching job was in this part of the country at Wake Forest. Back in the early 90s, Ron Rivera coming off the first opening day win in his head coaching career in his 4th season with the Panthers. Jim Caldwell, by the way, from Beloit, Wisconsin. And both teams winning their first game of the season. Panthers won the toss and deferred. Graham Gano kicking off, and Jeremy Ross is deep. Game 2 underway for the Panthers and the Lions. And we'll get a look at Detroit's offense coming out to the 20-yard line, putting up 35 points in their opener Monday night against the Giants. 50th consecutive start for Matthew Stafford, and that is a Detroit Lions record for a quarterback.
And he looked good last week, Chris. The offensive coordinator's new. His quarterback coach is new. Matt Stafford has some things to clean up in his game, but he showed he got a good start last week.
First down from the 20, Stafford to throw on the move, floats one open and caught is Golden Tate. Reggie Bush, the starting running back. We'll see Joique Bell on the ground as well, and of course Calvin Johnson since 2011, averaging almost 113 receiving yards a game. Nobody better.
The big addition there in Golden Tate. We know what Calvin Johnson is, but Golden Tate opens up this offense for him. It's a great complementary asset to this offense this year.
Garrett Reynolds starting at right guard because right tackle, primarily a guard in his career. Injuries at that spot worth watching this afternoon. Bell in at running back and gets the carry up across the 42, powering to the 45-yard line on a first down run. And the defense, Mario Addison starting up front with the other end, Charles Johnson for the Carolina Panthers. And as Jim Caldwell said, if you want to know where Luke Kuechly is, just follow the ball. He's always where the ball is.
Well, you can't talk about this defense without talking about the guy in the middle, Luke Kuechly. Thomas Davis, A.J. Klein there combined for a pretty good linebacking unit. This secondary is going to have their hands full today with Calvin Johnson.
After a pickup of 4 from just inside the Lion 45-yard line. Reggie Bush back in at running back. Stafford fires and caught. That's Jeremy Ross, who is going to be into Panther territory for a Detroit Lion first down. And Ross, more of a return specialist, nailed down that job as a kickoff and punt returner, but has emerged as the 3rd wide receiver here.
And I think he can be a big asset for this offense, Chris. Obviously, we know what Calvin's going to bring. We have an idea of what Golden Tate is going to be in this offense, but to have that 3rd guy, especially because this offense loves to play with 3 wide receivers and spread you out, is great for a kid like Jeremy Ross.
And he's at the top of your screen. 2 receivers to the left of Stafford. First and 10. Reggie Bush trying to get outside. Maybe gets a yard to the 45 of Carolina.
Early in the game, Chris, we've seen both running backs. We had them both listed as starters because they're going to share time today. It's not necessarily which one of these guys is going to rush for 100 yards. They just want to get touches in both of their hands.
Reggie Bush and Joique Bell, last year first NFL teammates to both rush for 500 yards and catch passes for 500 yards.
Yeah, expect a heavy compliment of both of them today. No one back in this offense is going to dominate the possession.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford with time goes at the 36-yard line to Golden Tate. The ball comes out after he caught the football, and it looks like the Lions are back on top of it. Jed Collins, the fullback, was down there to make the alert play.
This is something that Golden Tate brings. Watch this route, the out, and he's going to sit right back down. He's got the corner, Antoine Cason spinning around. Got to hold on to the ball there.
Recovered by Collins to the Lions from the 39. He had a first down till the ball came out. Now it's 3rd and 3.
Big early challenge for this Carolina Panthers defense.
Calvin Johnson, his hands on it, his first catch of the day, first time that he was targeted, and it is a Detroit Lion first down.
You have a must-win on third down earlier in the game. No question to me that they were going to Calvin Johnson. Carolina was manned up in that situation, and he's going to win just about all of those matchups.
And he makes a new record, breaking Herman Moore's mark of at least one catch in 108 consecutive games, the Lions franchise record, and he'll set a whole lot more before his Hall of Fame career is over.
Yeah, that record's sure to expand, Chris.
On first down, Stafford. Here comes a flag, and he's floating it for the end zone, and nobody's there. Jerome Boger, our referee. His 11th season, he refereed Super Bowl 47 between Baltimore and the 49ers.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside of the pocket. During the play, holding, offense, number 67, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
A clear explanation on the hold from Rob Sims, and because Stafford was out of the pocket, as explained, no intentional grounding on the throw.
Yeah, that was a really good hold there. Clear as day, had that hand tucked up under his jersey. When he brought him to the ground, they have to throw the flag there.
It backs up the Lions to the 42 of Carolina. This is the opening possession. They've had the ball nearly 4 minutes. Tipped and incomplete. K1 Short was the one who batted that down.
Yeah, good play by K1 Short. He knows he can't get there. He sees the throwing lane. He gets his hand in there. Detroit now at 2nd and 20. You got these long yardage situations here. You have to get at least half of this back, Chris. I would bet he drops back and tries to get to that first stick there, give himself a manageable third down.
Reggie Bush flanks out. Stafford goes the other way to Golden Tate, who spins inside the 35, knocked down around the 32. Last week against the Giants, Tate had 6 catches and all came on third down. This comes on second down to set up, as you said, a more manageable third down.
That play there, as we saw it, Reggie Bush motioning out of the backfield. Every other instance in the preseason and then through work week 1 against the Giants, that ball went to Reggie Bush. Just the way that they set up that little screen to Golden Tate.
On 3rd and 10 from the 32. Bell is the running back. Stafford from the pocket has time, goes underneath. Ball comes out. That is a fumble recovery, Panthers. Luke Kuechly, who else is on the football? And they're saying now incomplete.
On the field.
After initially ruling it a catch.
4th down.
I was going to say, Chris, that ball didn't look like he had it long enough to be considered complete. Brings it in, tries to make a football move, but it's already coming out before Luke Kuechly gets there. It's a good call by the refs.
And the Panthers are discussing that because one official ruling that it was a catch.
And the fans here don't like it, but I believe it was the right call.
And Ron Rivera wondering about a challenge here. But if it's ruled an incomplete pass, is that something you can challenge? A fumble is one thing. But if he saw one official rule catch, we have our rule.
Carolina is challenging the rule on the field
So it is.
of an incomplete pass.
The completed pass is challengeable. That would start the process. And it's under review, ruled incomplete on the field.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine.
And it was It's ruled incomplete on the field, right?
Yes.
Jerome Boger has taken a closer look at the catch, no catch, fumble recovery Carolina. Luke Kuechly coming away with the loose football. And Ron Rivera challenging the incomplete pass on the field.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's an incomplete pass. The receiver bobbled the ball and did not maintain possession of the catch throughout the play. Carolina is charged a challenge and his first timeout.
Yeah, as we said earlier, look, Chris, he gets this to his body, and as he's getting ready to make a play, you can see it coming through his legs. Granted, Luke Kuechly probably calls that incomplete pass just as much as people thought it was a fumble, but I don't think there was any doubt in our mind that that was not a completion.
Nate Friesen from 49 yards to try a field goal, and it's no good. The rookie is now 2 out of 4 in his pro career.
Bad touch there. Come back on offense, we'll see Cam Newton.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
From 49 here, and in the opener, he also missed against the Giants from 43. It sets up Cam Newton in great field position. Mike Tolbert has a first down in Lion territory inside the 45-yard line of Detroit. Cam Newton welcome back. D'Angelo Williams out of the lineup. He injured his thigh against Tampa Bay. Tried in the pregame workouts to give it a go. And only Dan Marino responsible for more touchdowns in the first 3 years of his NFL career than Cam Newton.
Yeah, we saw that graphic last night. My reaction was, wow, that's pretty impressive company. Cam Newton obviously does a lot of that with his legs. I think Dan Marino only had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Cam Newton wearing the protective shirt. 6 months removed from ankle surgery, hands to Jonathan Stewart. And Cam also has the rib injury suffered in the preseason. And Ryan Khalil in the center group up front will try and protect Cam. And the receivers, Kelvin Benjamin, the rookie, coming off an outstanding NFL debut with a touchdown catch in the win at Tampa Bay.
He did have a great opening game, but this offense, I think, goes through Greg Olsen, their tight end. He had a huge day last week in Tampa Bay, and I suspect Cam Newton to use him as his security blanket again today, Chris.
Benjamin, top of your screen, 2nd and 9. Handoff Stewart, hit hard, stopped inside the 43, and Stephen Tulloch, who has never missed a game in his 9-year NFL career out of North Carolina State, making the stop. And this front four with some tackles that make it tough, and Sue and Fairley up front.
Yeah, Sue, Fairley, we'll see some C.J. Mosley in there, but this linebacking core, DeAndre Levy and Stephen Tulloch, are about as good as a combination as there is right now. They're playing some good football. That secondary is a little bit challenged with some injuries. They'll have to have a big day to stop this big wide receiver, this great tight end for Carolina.
Rank 5-4.
On 3rd down and 8, Cam Newton from the pocket will be brought down inside the 45 of Detroit. Jason Jones and Ziggy Ansah kept him from taking off further.
I think that answers the question whether or not he will run or not. Cam Newton said, I only know one way to play, and he does only know one way to play. And if he has some room, he's not going to be hesitant because of that rib injury.
It'll officially go as a sack for the Lions after a loss of 2. Brad Nortman standing at the 42 of Carolina to try to punt to Jeremy Ross, who last year in the snow in Philadelphia had a 2-touchdown return game. Lion fans remember, one on a punt and one on a kickoff. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. The Lions moved the ball the last time, but stalled and have to deal with the front 7 of the Panthers.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Pizza Hut's Bacon and Cheese Stuffed Crust. By the new Samsung Galaxy S5, the next big thing is here. And by Chevrolet, 5 new roads.
Our aerial coverage today provided by DirecTV. Rondé Barber, Jennifer Hale is on the field. Chris Myers, nice to have you with us for the NFL on Fox from Charlotte, North Carolina. Second possession for the Lions. starting at their own 12. Handoff, Joik Bell. Tackle, Kuechly involved. Let's go back. Ron Rivera in defense of his challenge, Mike Pereira explaining is if the officiating crew, if one rules catch on the field and one rules no catch, they huddle. And obviously Jerome Boger makes an overall decision and rules it incomplete on the field. Ron Rivera lost the challenge on the fumble recovery by Kuechly, thus lost the timeout. The field goal was missed, obviously, and that's why we're still scoreless.
Refs have that new communication system this year.
Pass, sideline, Reggie Bush. He'll go out of bounds. It'll be third down.
Good example of the maturing Matt Stafford right there. Didn't try to force that ball anywhere down the field, found his outlet. He went through about 3 reads right there before he let it go to Reggie Bush in the flat. That's the Joe Lombardi influence on this young player.
The new offensive coordinator who spent time in New Orleans on that offensive staff. Yes, it's the same name, Lombardi, but now 3rd and 5. And there is Joe Lombardi. Stafford goes underneath to Bell and knocked down across the 21-yard line. Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly. And we're going to see how close this is for the first down. He needed to get up to the 22-yard line. And it looks like it's good enough for a first down.
10 and 15 on 3rd down last week, Chris. One thing, they dominated the Giants in a lot of ways, but when you can stay on the field, when you have this many weapons, it makes for a dangerous offense. That's exactly what they have here in Detroit.
Here comes a flag, and it's a delay game.
Delay of game. Offense, number 9. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Stafford 7 out of 9 so far. And this will back him up to the 17-yard line.
Going forward in this game, Chris, I want to see how this Carolina defense tries to rattle Matt Stafford. Yes, he's learning a new offense, but he's got a lot of years under his belt, and he has some experience. The addition of his new quarterback coach and offensive coordinator, it'll be interesting to see how they get in his head a little bit.
On 1st and 15, Stafford, sideline throw incomplete, was trying to go to Calvin Johnson, and he was well covered.
You know, last week, Chris, the Giants played a whole bunch of 3D, as in one safety in the hole, corners either in zone or in man, and having to cover Calvin Johnson one-on-one. And to be honest with you, I think Detroit was a little bit shocked that they weren't doubling up Calvin. Carolina's doing the same thing today. Anton Cason has been singled up on Calvin Johnson on the last 3 plays. I think they're trusting their front 4, and he's giving their corners a chance to prove they can cover Calvin. He's in the slot right now. You see him right here. It's right there. Dangerous when he's inside.
Middle of the field, he's open there. He breaks a tackle almost. Brought down at the 29-yard line. Luke Kuechly wrapped him up, and short of the first down, he has to get across the 32.
Yeah, you put Calvin Johnson inside, and all of a sudden he's got to match up on a corner or a linebacker. That's tough duty for Luke Kuechly in that zone, but he comes up and makes a nice tackle and gives him a 3rd down opportunity.
Reggie Bush checks in at running back. He's in the Calvin Johnson in the slot area. On 3rd and short, pass is caught. What a move by Golden Tate. He's got a first down up across the 40-yard line of the Detroit Lions.
There you go. That's what I was talking about, putting Calvin inside. But this is the addition of Golden Tate, what it brings. Look how quick he gets in and out of his breaks. He's got Antoine Cason spinning around out there. This kid can be a huge addition for this offense. We'll talk about it all day today.
The ex-Seahawk and Jim Caldwell likened him to Steve Smith in his toughness and his chippiness, which he says helps his football team.
It's an attitude more than anything.
First and 10 from just across the 40. In trouble is Stafford, but throws it away. There's a flag down, and he goes down. Roman Harper was in the backfield. So was Thomas Davis. There's 2 flags, one in the secondary.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one by each team. Illegal contact, defense number 20. Holding, offense number 45. Those fouls offset, replay.
Call on Antoine Kaysen in the secondary and Jed Collins. And so they will replay the down from the 41. Let's look at Kaysen's infraction.
Yeah. This is Josh Norman on Calvin Johnson. Josh Norman's getting a shot to play this week. Melvin White started last week at corner against Tampa. Josh Norman will get a lot of snaps because of his size playing up against Calvin.
Kaysen was on the other side, obviously. So now first and 10. 9 out of 12 so far for Stafford. He'll float that one and get rid of it. Matthew Stafford, you talked about Joe Lombardi, his new offensive coordinator, and new head coach Jim Caldwell. In his 6th season, he's only 26 years old. And when you think about how young, he's younger than Colin Kaepernick or Andy Dalton, and just a few months older than Russell Wilson in Seattle.
He looks young still.
You mean on the field or in person?
In person. He's got it. I think bringing in Coach Caldwell, obviously the new offensive coordinator, new quarterback coach. I thought it was interesting. Caldwell was talking about development of Matt Stafford. He's in his 6th year, but he's really only got 5 years, and he thinks he can help him.
Got the playoff just in time. Reggie Bush, with that play clock running down, gets up near the 45. Caldwell talked about the 5th year of a quarterback developing. He had Peyton Manning in his 5th year, Joe Flacco in his 5th year, and this the 6th year for Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford had that one season where he was on injured reserve and didn't really count towards his development, I guess you could say, in Coach Caldwell's eyes. But if he has the same success with Matt Stafford as he had with those other 2 guys, watch out.
They need to get to the 49 of Carolina for a first down. Calvin Johnson, bottom of your screen on 3rd and 6.
Communication on both sides of the ball here.
Stafford has time for Calvin Johnson. He caught the ball, and yes, the ruling is his feet are in bounds. One official came running down from the 40-yard line and said he caught it.
Antoine Kaysen, looks like this is the guy they're going to go against today. Calvin Johnson, though, is just too big. Hey, it looked like both toes touched into me there, Chris. It'll be interesting on this replay whether or not it's that left foot that hits in or out of the line.
And the Lions are quickly going to the line and trying to snap the ball before there can be a challenge. Rivera already 0 for 1. Bell gets the handoff, so the play is in the books as a catch for Calvin Johnson. The official who ruled it a catch was coming down the area where his feet could be seen.
And let's go back to that catch really quick. This angle, his left foot is very close to that white line. We know that the right foot tapped down. Pause it. Yeah, it's close. But I think having challenged earlier and lost, Ron Rivera was a little bit reluctant. Yeah, that's a catch, Chris. He got that inside the line. A little bit reluctant to use his other challenge and be out of him in the first half.
On 2nd down, Joint Bell to carry. And the ball came out at the end of the run, and it's loose. Panthers have the football. It was a late fumble by Bell.
This Carolina defense created 2 crucial turnovers last week. Antoine
Kaysen comes out of there with it.
Comes out of the pile with it. You'll see him just stick his arm in there, punch it out. Falls underneath the pile, and he recovers his own caused fumble. Big play by the Carolina defense.
Panthers had 3 takeaways in their opening day win at Tampa Bay, and they get the first one of this game.
Yeah, watch Antoine Cason. Watch him ball up his fist right here. Bam! Punch that thing out. That is an awesome play by a corner coming into him for a tackle.
And that's the first turnover of this season for the Lions. On first down, Jonathan Stewart the carry. Met right at the 25-yard line by Ndamukong Suh and shoved backwards. The 3-time Pro Bowler was ready.
First time we mentioned his name today, but it won't be the last. He's going to face a whole bunch of double teams. But I tell you what, not many teams accomplish what they're trying to get done, even if they put 2, sometimes 3 guys on the big fella. He's a dominant force up front, Chris.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and he said when he's not double teamed, he's surprised. Greg Olsen, leading receiver in last week's game. In the slot to the right, Ed Dixon, the other tight end. And the pass goes incomplete for Kelvin Benjamin. Cam Newton, who Ron Rivera said, remember, he didn't play last week. Wednesday, the practice, just okay. Thursday, it got better. Friday's practice, he thought he looked sharp.
Little late on that delivery. There was a corner pressure coming from Cam. He made the right decision to get that ball, try to get that ball out to Kelvin Benjamin. He was just a little bit late, allowed the safety to make a play on it.
Third down and 11. Scoreless in the opening quarter with a minute to go. Cam Newton is going to fire it deep. And incomplete. No flags. Jason Avant was running down the sideline with Darius Slay. And it's 4th down. And so far, it's usually the Panthers' game to control the clock, but the Lions have had the ball for nearly 10 and a half minutes. 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Got a couple of big plays by this Carolina defense. Now, this offense is stuck in neutral a little bit at this point. Cam, to me, showing a little bit of rust.
Brad Nortman, 47-yard average on 6 punts last week. And his first punt here is more a field position punt. This is a nice kick inside the 17-yard line. Ross going to go up the sideline and run out of bounds up near the 40-yard line. A good return by Jeremy Ross and no flags. Frustration for Cam Newton. He's been hit more than any other quarterback in the NFL since he's arrived in the league. Lions have the football and they're winning the time of possession scoreless on the clock. Obviously, Carolina can be patient with their offense when their defense is as good as they have been. Theo Reddick checks in at running back, and the rookie from Notre Dame, or I should say the second-year player from Notre Dame, gets the carry. Last couple of drives for the Lions, 10 plays and then a missed field goal, and then 11 plays and a lost fumble. That's why it's scoreless here as the clock runs down to the opening quarter. Reddick, originally drafted in the 6th round. Joique Bell and Reggie Bush, the other running backs who we've seen much of this first quarter, and the Lions are going to let it run out. And at the end of one here in Charlotte, it's the Panthers and the Lions scoreless. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Start of the second quarter, scoreless, 126 total yards for the Lions. They've lost the football. Only 15 total yards for Carolina. On 2nd and 10, Reggie Bush, the running back. Stafford flips to Reggie Bush in space. And he gets up across midfield. Thomas Davis runs him down. It was interesting that the Panthers were in a nickel defense in this situation.
They are. I think it's so they could beat up Calvin Johnson at the line of scrimmage. But Matthew Stafford here, so mature, showing that maturity again. He always takes a peek at that check down. He told us it's part of the game plan. So whenever he feels pressure or he has a ball that he wants to push down the field and it's not there, he knows exactly where to get rid of it. He did right there to his playmaker, Reggie Bush.
Theo Reddick checks it on 3rd and 3. Panthers have a safety all the way back at the 30-yard line. Pass is incomplete. Golden Tate was the target. At the snap of the football, Carolina had a defensive back 30 yards downfield or 20 yards downfield.
Yeah, Sean McDermott is doing a lot on defense right now. Definitely the strength of this Carolina unit. They're giving him a bunch of different looks, and Matt Stafford had nowhere to go with that football. Throw it away. Good play by Roman Harper on that coverage, too. We didn't get a chance to see it, but he took away exactly what Matt wanted.
Calvin Johnson so far in the game does have 3 catches, but no points on the board for Detroit as the fair catch is called for by Philly Brown around the 11-yard line of Carolina. Cam Newton so far has thrown 3 passes, completing 1.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Visa Checkout, the easier way to pay online. By McDonald's, official sponsor of the NFL. I'm loving it. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Starting from the 12-yard line, Adama Suh looking on. The rotation with C.J. Mosley continues up there. The D-tackle spot. From the 12-yard line, Mike Tolbert the back. On 1st and 10 for Cam Newton, who throws and completes to Greg Olsen, who has a first down around the 28-29-yard line. He was the leading receiver last year. He was the leading receiver last week.
I know one thing. Detroit watched any film last week against Tampa Bay. As soon as Greg Olsen gets on the side of the field by himself, those other 3 receivers on the other side, the ball is going to him. That's exactly what they did there.
Without a huddle, they go to the 28-yard line. Pass is complete again to Greg Olsen, flipped in the air, and comes down hard on the other side of the 35-yard line.
This offense was not doing much on only 1 first down before this drive. They needed to get it going. They went to the guy that's been the most reliable for this team, and that's Greg Olsen. 2 quick catches, get them out of that backed up situation.
Need to get to the 38 for a first down. 3rd straight play in which he has attempted to throw. There's a flag down as Newton goes out of bounds up around the 45-yard line.
Newton celebrating. Cam celebrating.
Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
He didn't know that Byron Bell was grabbing on the backfield there.
Bell was one of the guys who received compliments from last week's game from Ron Rivera, switching from guard to tackle, and here number 77 gets flagged.
Yeah, an obvious hold, grabbing George Johnson around the collar. See Nick Fairley getting held right there. They could have called either one of those. But it's interesting, though, that Cam Newton is not scared to run. We've seen it twice already today. He's got those protective rib shirt on, but it's not going to stop him from being the Cam Newton that he has always been.
To throw, he fakes the hands off to Philly Brown. Here comes a flag as Brown gets across the 40. The rookie free agent from Ohio State with the carry, but it's going to be a hold.
Doing the run, holding, offense, number 13. 10-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
That's on the rookie receiver, Kelvin Benjamin.
I love this innovative type play here. Cam Newton fakes the read, fakes the pass, and hands off to Philly on that reverse. But you see the penalty over here. The rookie Kelvin Benjamin on Darius Slay. And yeah, he's trying to get physical, but look at that. Hands out match, just trying to maul him. Can't do that, young man. That's too easy for them to call.
So it negates the gain, and looks like Kelvin Benjamin is hurt. We will check on that from the 27-yard line. Newton fires for Olsen, and it's almost intercepted. It went through the hands before Glover Quinn had a shot at coming away with the pick.
I think that instance right there, Cam is just trying to force this ball into his playmaker. The coverage is really, really good there by Darius Slay. And I know you put anything near Greg Olsen, he generally brings it down, but it was a little ill-advised there by Cam.
And Kelvin Benjamin on 3rd down is not on the field. Brenton Pearson, number 11, Pearson, the receiver from Wofford College, is in on 3rd down for Cam Newton. Throws, caught, near the 40 by Conchery.
Cam had good time there, picked out the guy he wanted, and a little option route. They're going to the line quick here, but didn't hear a lot from Conchery last week. But he's a possession receiver, and that's what they brought him in for, make those third down catches.
A pickup of 13 from the 40. Throw again and does. This time it's Jason Avant. And it was Cam Newton who said after Friday's practice, this is going to be a Carolina breakout game for veterans Jericho Conchery and Jason Avant.
Well, it looks like right now, Chris, they're committed to throwing this ball. I've always thought that if you could get an offense spread out and throwing the football, it helps them run. And it looks like that's what Mike Shula has in store today, at least in this second quarter.
From the 45-yard line, Newton's pass is high. Trying to get it inside to Avant. Darius Slay was there covering.
Cam got nailed on that play, but pops right back up. See the pressure. Jason Jones through. Issa Abdul Kudus.
And they keep track of hits on the quarterback, and nobody has been hit more since 2011 at that position than Cam Newton. On third down and 5. From the pocket, complete. He's got Brenton Burson for a first down. His first NFL catch.
Brenton Burson had a great preseason. That's why he's on this team. He was inactive last week. But you can tell their plan this today is to spread this defense out and throw it around the park.
You saw Fairley walking off, the pace frantic for this Carolina offense. And we do have a timeout. We have an injured player from the Lions, Darius Slay. And remember, Bill Bentley, their nickelback, was hurt in the opener Monday night. They had to call up Nate Ness from the practice squad. We will check on the injury and return. Nick Fairley and Darius being checked for injury over on the sideline for the Lions. Meanwhile, a first down. Kelvin Benjamin back in for the Panthers at the 47 of Detroit. 7 pass plays, 1 run on this drive. Stewart the back. Stewart the football. Jonathan Stewart came out of the pile and got inside the 23-yard line.
And Chris, Mike Shula is dialing up his entire playbook right now. We've seen 1 run on this drive. It's been 7 passes, now 8 passes. Cam Newton with this fake, going back to Jonathan Stewart. Now a healthy Jonathan Stewart is a dangerous Jonathan Stewart because of this right here. 5, 6, 7 Lions had a chance to bring him down. He's just too tough some days.
A gain of 22. Cam Newton keeps the football. He's weaving his way down the sideline. It goes out of bounds or up the 10-yard line. What a fake.
I guarantee you, Chris, that this was supposed to be a run. Cam Newton last week, Ron Rivera told us they ran this exact play, and he was supposed to hand it off, and he took it because he wanted to show that he could still get out of the pocket and do what he does. See him stuff this in Jonathan Stewart's belly, but he knows it's a read option, and Cam is going to be Cam. He's got a great block on the outside by Kelvin Benjamin. That's the offense we want to see from Carolina.
A pickup of 13. Underneath. Jericho Conchery knocked backwards by Glover Quinn. It'll be second down. Cam Newton is 7 of 11, and that's his first official run. He has been sacked once.
I thought they were a little out of rhythm with Cam in those first 3 drives, but got to give them credit right now for picking up the tempo, Chris, getting him more comfortable, throwing the ball around the park. He's obviously got confidence enough to run it. This offense is rolling right now.
See if he'll take advantage of Cassius Vaughn in at corner for Darius Slay. From the 8-yard line, Mike Tolbert is swarmed by the Lions and shoved backwards. DeAndre Levy was the first one to get there, coming off a 10-tackle night on Monday night in the win over the Lions. Levy, who played his college football at Wisconsin from Milwaukee and led all linebackers in interceptions last year with 6. Had one on Monday night. Ball spotted outside the 10.5-yard line. 3rd down and 9. We have a timeout called.
Timeout, Carolina. Yes, second. This is a 30-second.
Headed to the locker room. George Johnson of the Lions. Remember, the Panthers lost a timeout on the Ron Rivera challenge, so they have one remaining with just over 8 minutes before the half. Today, following football, be prepared for a new breed of fighter. 16 women competing for a historic UFC title. You don't want to miss an encore presentation of the jaw-dropping season premiere of The Ultimate Fighter. A champion will be crowned. That's coming up after football, right here on Fox. Cam Newton, his debut of 2014, and has shown no ill effects of the preseason rib injury or the ankle surgery 6 months ago. Newton's throwing high, called in, but out of bounds. And Kelvin Benjamin, using that 6'5" frame, went up to snatch it. But it was a tough catch in that part of the end zone to bring his feet in bounds.
He made a good throw, but there was really not enough room back there for Kelvin Benjamin to get his feet down. Lions showed all-out blitz. 6 guys on the line of scrimmage, and it just bounced out into his zone coverage.
Is Abdul Kudus back there on the coverage, and Graham Goddard, who missed from 48 against Tampa but hit 2 other field goals last Sunday in Carolina's win against the Bucs. Nails the 29-yarder. Finally, some points here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Ron Rivera and the Panthers lead at 3-0.
This game is sponsored by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Our aerial coverage today is provided by DirecTV. We mentioned the cool temperature, 70 degrees here in Charlotte, with Rondé Barber, Chris Myers, with Jennifer Hale down on the field and getting ready to kick off the Panthers, who have the 3-0 advantage here in the second quarter as Jeremy Ross lets it roll, and Matt Stafford will lead the offense from the 20-yard line. He's been 10 of 15 so far. This is our spot. Great view of the field, Rondy. I think there was some question. What about Cam Newton? Would he be hesitant? Would he be rusty? What's your answer so far?
I don't think he's hesitant at all. I think he's excited. You know, we had the game last week, and we saw him run out on the field into the huddle during a timeout. He couldn't wait to get back on the field today. There's no rust. It was early, maybe a little, but so far he's proven that he's the Cam Newton of old.
Said it was the most difficult thing he's had to do as a pro, sit out and miss the game to start the opening of the season. Panthers trying to go to 2-0. Meanwhile, the Lions try to do the same thing from the 20. Stafford throws, and that's hauled in by Eric Ebron, the tight end. First-round draft pick from Greensboro, North Carolina, and drafted out of North Carolina, the 10th overall pick.
He had some early struggles in camp. Really the 3rd tight end on this unit, but is a huge asset. These 3 tight ends with him, Joseph Fourier and Brandon Pettigrew. They got some talent out there at that position.
Pettigrew, the best blocker of the group. On 1st and 10. Hand off Bell. Let's get a game break. Check in with Kurt Menevee. Hey, Kurt.
Hey there. Sorry about that. A mixed bag here for Washington. Well, this is a bad injury to RG3. Injured his ankle. They took him off in an air cast. So Kirk Cousins comes into the game. Perfect 7 for 7, including a touchdown pass to Darrell Young. Right now they lead at 14-0. And yes, hello, Chris and Rondé.
It's all right, Kurt. I know you got a lot going on there, and a brutal-looking injury for Robert Griffin III. As we have 2nd and 6 here, Kurt will keep us updated on all the other games. And at the Visa halftime report as Bell carries. And Luke Kuechly in on the tackle. They're yelling Luke here in the stadium.
Strong tackle by that man.
He looks a little, you know, when you see him in person, he looks mild-mannered, almost like a Clark Kent type character. But man, on the field, he is Superman.
Clark Kent, Henry Cavill, who played the Man of Steel. But when it comes to Sundays or when there's trouble,
the man of tackles,
they turn into somebody else, and that's Luke Kuechly for this Carolina defense. You don't block him, Chris. He's got to make the tackle.
And on 3rd and 4, a test for Kuechly in this defense. Stafford from the pocket. Pass is caught right at the first down marker by Ebron, the tight end. And looked like, let's see where the spot is. Remember, that line is superimposed onto the field just to give us an idea. And it's good enough for the first down. The chain link tells the story, and that was an impressive move by Stafford to get just enough to keep it going here. Under 6 minutes to play. Stafford 12 out of 17 and 6 different receivers. Calvin Johnson kept out of the end zone so far. Reggie Bush checks back in at running back. From the 47, Stafford open. Joseph Fourier, one of those tight ends you were talking about, gets inside the 35 of Carolina.
Yeah, this offense is definitely pass first, if you ask me. Matt Stafford has the most passing attempts from a quarterback in a 3-year period in the history of the NFL. And to that end, Carolina has 5 defensive backs on the field, even when Detroit has 2 tight ends. You'll see 5 defensive backs to cover up that passing game for Detroit.
That was his 7th different receiver. And on first down, it's back to the run with Reggie Bush. Slipped through a hole, but man, as he hit hard. And smothered around the 28-yard line.
See how easy Detroit gets the ball up and down the field. It's almost effortless. I mean, I know Carolina's defense has done a good job today forcing those turnovers and keeping the ball in front of them, no big plays. But Detroit is having their way getting up and down the field. Look at that big collision there by Thomas Davis on Reggie Bush.
He had 15 touches last week. He has 5 so far. And that's usually the range they want him touching the football, at least with this offense. 15 touches a game. On second down, it's Bell. Shoved backwards. Colin Cole.
That front 4. And it's about 6 guys. There's our guy right there. Watch him dominate Raiola here and the guard. 3 guys had a chance to block him. Walford gets tossed around and a big hit in the backfield. This Carolina defense. It's what they do. You try to run on these guys, you're going to pay for it.
Third down at 8. Blitz picked up. Stafford end zone throws. Sliding grab. Touchdown. Calvin Johnson. And no. One official ruled touchdown. The other came in and ruled no catch.
He didn't keep it when he went to the ground, but this is a little out and up. Great ball by Matthew Stafford. He gets it to the ground, but as we know, this rule changed a couple of years ago because of Calvin Johnson. Even though he secures the catch there and rolls over, he has to have it in his possession when he hits the ground, and you can see that ball tumbling out. It is an incompletion.
It was a game against the Chicago Bears, a 49-yard field goal try from Nate Freeze. He missed earlier, and this one is also no good.
That's a big drop by Calvin Johnson, and the second missed field goal. Detroit still in a hole.
And the Lions had no drops in their opener against the Giants. We welcome you back in Charlotte. A pair of missed field goals. Nate Freeze both from 49 yards after Calvin Johnson. One official rules touchdown, but as he turns over, and you explained, Rondé, the other did not complete the process. It's the third call this game. We've had one official say catch and another say no catch. Mike Pereira will help us with that in just a moment. Meanwhile, great field position for Carolina from the 39. Cam Newton to throw. Middle of the field and complete to Jericho Cotchery. There's a flag on the play back at the 30 where Cam Newton let the football go.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The call on Ndamukong Suh. We welcome our rules analyst, Mike Pereira. Mike, we've seen 3 different times in this game already. One official ruling catch and another one waving him off.
Yeah, you know, it's just about angles. If you take the Calvin Johnson play, the only official that would see the ball come out was the official on the sideline because he had rolled over. So, you know, you always get a different view on the sideline. One guy has the feet, the other guy has the ball, and so you may get different opinions.
The penalty was declined, by the way. So Mike, I want to ask you if Jerome Boger, the referee, they huddle. Ultimately, he makes the final call here. That's Cam Newton. Here comes a flag as Cam Newton will get rid of it. And we'll check on the penalty here.
Ron Rivera is going crazy on this sideline. He thought Ndamukong Suh gave Cam a little unnecessary push there after he threw that ball away.
Illegal hands to the face. Offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
That'll be on the rookie Trey Turner. So Mike Pereira, Jerome Boger is the head referee. Does he huddle and ask each official what they saw, and how does he make a determination on an overrule?
Actually lets the 2 officials work it out. One will say, I have the better angle, and he's got the better look, so then that guy will basically, the last guy who has the best look will really overrule the first guy that made the call.
Okay, thanks, Mike. The last guy with the best look. First and 20 after a penalty on Carolina. Newton's throw on target. Kelvin Benjamin with a first down. Inside the 35 of Detroit.
Cam Newton's been throwing that ball to Steve Smith for years. Kelvin Benjamin, a bigger target, makes that same catch. But yeah, you can see that was a tad late. There's some possible bad blood there.
That's what Ron Rivera was upset. That's the one that wasn't called. On first down, Cam Newton is going to run and slide awkwardly at the 30. We're nearing the 2-minute warning. Detroit, all 3 timeouts. The Panthers have just 1.
You can see that vest, or he has the rib protectors under there. He probably has another one on top. He doesn't look worse for wear so far today.
Cam Newton said he doesn't like to slide. It's not in his nature. Panthers, they have the lead. They have the football at the 2-minute mark of the first half. Today's game on Fox, sponsored by iTunes. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Missed field goals by the Lions. Carolina has a good kick by Cano. That's why it's 3-0. Greg Olsen trying to run a tight end screen, brought down by Tulloch at the 35. Carolina does have 1 timeout. Let's take a look at that previous run with Newton.
Yeah, the awkward slide, as you like to call it. Maybe he gets pounded by a couple of Detroit Lions there, but kind of fell on the ball, kind of probably knocked the wind out of him a little bit. Slow walking to the sideline after that play.
Yeah, he was getting loose over on the sideline, throwing the ball during that break. A little bit unusual. Playing with that protective shirt underneath his normal set of pads. Meanwhile, 3rd down and 12 from the 35 of Detroit. 1 timeout, Carolina. Pass is incomplete. Try to get it to Olsen. It'll be 4th down. And the range of this kick will be, depending upon the exact spot, 53, maybe 52.
There was some wind swirling around. We were down on the field earlier.
Gano has been successful beyond 50 yards in his career. He has made a 59-yarder before. This kick from 53 is good. For what's ahead at halftime, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, RG3 carted off against the Jags. We'll have an update. Adrian Peterson's backup gets on the board against the Patriots, and the Dolphins and Bills battle for the top spot in the AFC East. We got all that and more coming up on the Visa halftime.
Thank you, Kurt. Well, the Carolina Panthers, without their star runner, DeAngelo Williams, they deactivated an organizational decision, Greg Hardy. Their home opener here, and they have a shutout going, 6-0, even though the Lions have had the football about 4 or 5 more minutes than they had.
Yeah, the 2 missed field goals by Nate Freese. Obviously, DeAngelo Williams not playing today. Had a productive week last week. But I think there's no team better equipped to deal with an injury at running back than Carolina when Jonathan Stewart is healthy. You have Mike Tolbert. You have Fozzie Whitaker, who the coaching staff seems to like as well. You got that many horses in the backfield. You can absorb the loss of DeAngelo for a week.
Graham Gano, 3 for 3 today on the touchback department. 70% rate last year. That was the highest of the NFL since 1994. Hey, you saw Graham Gano make a couple of field goals last week on the road at Tampa Bay. We showed you at the half. He wanted to get loose, and the band was playing, the Bethune-Cookman band, and he was a little intense and pushed and later apologized to the trombone player. But look at the saxophone player.
The saxophone
working him over. In fact, he said he would get tickets for the guys there after apologizing. He was just intense, trying to stay focused, and they found out that musician was a Falcons fan, so he's going to get a couple of tickets to see Atlanta. The band is ready here today in case he wants to get loose. Meanwhile, the Lions on 1st and 10. Pass is incomplete. He was trying to go to Calvin Johnson.
He was trying to force it to Calvin Johnson. Carolina's in a zone back there. Melvin White and the safety are converging on him, and he still put that ball in there for Calvin. Now, it's one of the aspects.
That's Benet Benwicker at the nickelback, number 25.
Yeah, you're right. It was the nickelback that fell underneath that made a nice play. Actually tipped the interception away from Melvin White.
2nd down, 10 from the 20. Time for Stafford. Completes to Calvin Johnson, his 1st down, lunging across the 34-yard line. 4th catch of the game for Calvin Johnson. Golden Tate also has 4, and the Lions have all 3 of their timeouts.
I think it behooves Detroit to get a good drive and at least some points. They've had some momentum on offense and haven't converted anything yet.
Stafford in the pocket with all day and throws it low and incomplete to Johnson at midfield. Remember, Carolina will get the football to start the 2nd half. They deferred on the opening coin toss.
Yeah, that was the first time, Chris, that I've seen Matt really kind of throw just his arm. You know, he had a tendency to do this in the pass, and he's got time here. Just the last second, he just tries to whip it sidearm there and didn't get it to his target.
34 seconds to go before the half. From the 35 of Detroit, Stafford's pass incomplete. Again, he's trying to go to Calvin Johnson. It'll be 3rd down.
They were so sharp last week against New York, but seeing him trying to get the ball to Calvin, some drops, some misses, some miscommunication on some routes.
I'm sure that Joe Lombardi will make some halftime adjustments, the offensive coordinator that you referred to.
They need to get the running game going. It was non-existent at the beginning of the game last week. We haven't seen much of it today as well. Just a little lacking some balance so far.
From the 35, it's 3rd and 10. Stafford in trouble, incomplete. And the Carolina defense swarming in. Mario Anderson leading the way.
That entire front 4 of Carolina is just collapsing the pocket on Matt Stafford. There's nowhere for him to get rid of the ball. They're forced to punt, give Carolina an opportunity here with 25 seconds to get some more points on the board before they go into the half. And again, they're getting the ball outside of after the 2nd half.
Philly Brown back to take the punt. And gets up across the 30-yard line. Let's get a game break in and check in with Joel Platt. Hey, Joel.
Hey, Chris, and we go to Cleveland, and Drew Brees wishes he was back in New Orleans. Overthrow of Jimmy Graham and Tashawn Gibson on his way to the house. That's right, Cleveland up 16-3 on New Orleans just before the half. Back to Carolina, Chris.
And the Saints, thank you, Joel, in jeopardy. 0-2. That would make the Panther fans happy in the NFC South. Carolina trying to go to 2-0. And what a difference for Detroit from their last opening game to this game, whereas for Carolina, similar pattern. Great defense, pitching the shutout, quarterback playing a steady game.
That's exactly what they need. That's their formula for winning.
He's going to throw on first down and completes. Jason Avant over on the sideline. One timeout for the Panthers here in 7 seconds.
I like Ron Rivera, Mike Shula's plan here. Stay aggressive. See if you can move the ball down the field here with as little amount of time as you can. And if you get a big play, maybe you get a shot at a field goal. You have a timeout left to give yourself a chance.
Ron Rivera, the former Chicago Bear player, as the head coach here at one time. They wanted to run him out of town. And he finally, each year he's been here, they've improved the win total. Took his team to the playoffs. The NFC South Division champs hosted a playoff game here. And what is opener? Stewart. And that will bring us to the end of the first half.
As we say that, they run the ball. I guess we don't know what we're talking about.
Well, you can only be so aggressive. 6-0 Carolina at the half. And they get the football coming out against the Detroit Lions. The return of Cam Newton, 12 of 18, 130 yards. He's also run the ball twice. Matthew Stafford, 14 out of 24. But so far, the Lions off the scoreboard. A couple of Detroit missed field goals. In Charlotte, it is 6-0. Panthers over the Lions. The Visa Halftime Report. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. Straight ahead with scores and highlights. Getting ready to start the third quarter. The Panthers home opener, and they lead the Lions 6-0. Carolina will get the football with Rondé Barber, Jennifer Hale on the field. I'm Chris Myers, and the developing story this morning, defensive lineman Greg Hardy of the Panthers was deactivated. We were told it was an organizational decision back in July. A judge found Hardy guilty of making threats to his ex-girlfriend and assault. By state law, he has the right to appeal for a jury hearing. That's what he has done. That date is set for mid-November. The Panthers had been working under that framework. There was an emotional comment this week from owner Jerry Richardson. Ultimately, the Panthers decided to deactivate Greg Hardy. He is not playing in today's game. We will get further comment from the organization after this game is complete. Meanwhile, the first half, the Panthers defense playing outstanding, and Detroit having trouble despite moving the football, having trouble getting into the end zone.
Yeah, they were dominating time possession early in this game, Chris. But they got in the red zone. We saw the drop touchdown by Calvin Johnson, and then the two missed field goals were crucial. It is the difference in this game right now as Carolina has converted on their two opportunities. You know what? I think this offense for Detroit has to get back to running the football some. I know they haven't had a lot of success, but without it, all they're doing is dropping back, throwing the ball, and Carolina's defense is just teeing off on them.
Well, it's a new offense for Matthew Stafford with the new head coach and offensive coordinator. It worked so well Monday night at home against the Giants. They didn't have to run the football there until late in the game when they iced the game, and at that point it was well in hand when they put 35 points on the board. Matthew Stafford has not turned the ball over, completing 14 of 24. And again, the drop touchdown pass by Calvin Johnson. Time for the Nissan performance that excites. And certainly for Panther fans, their defense exciting, but Cam Newton's return steady. 12 of 18, 130 yards, setting them up in field goal range. He's also run the ball a couple of times, showing no ill effects other than once when he landed on the football with that awkward slide.
Now they had that possession in the middle of the second quarter, Chris, where Mike Shula decided to up the tempo, and they threw the ball on about 9 of 10 plays, and that's when Cam Newton started to feel like the Cam Newton that we all know. Offense has been rolling ever since then.
Touchback from Nate Freeze. Let's check it down on the field with Jennifer Hale. Jennifer?
Chris, obviously Ron Rivera thrilled with how Cam Newton's performing now that he's found his rhythm. He says Cam is experiencing no pain even after falling on that ball and knocking the wind out of himself. That's a good thing because that cracked rib is underneath his throwing shoulder and Rivera does not want to risk a pain injection. Meanwhile, Jim Caldwell gave his team an earful about turnovers and tells me he plans to mix the run and the pass game a little bit more in this next half to buy Stafford more time, Chris.
Thank you, Jen. Jonathan Stewart remains the running back. He's only carried 4 times. On first down, Cam Newton will go down. And the Lions with a sack at the 10-yard line, C.J. Mosley.
Yeah, welcome to the second half, Cam Newton. He had some pressure early, but C.J. Mosley, you'll see him on the right side of your screen here. Nobody seems to block him. Some miscommunications up front with those 2 guards in the center. It's an easy sack, and he gives them the Superman.
Ronda, you talked about running the football for the Lions. The Panthers haven't been able to run the football either. It's been a passing, defensive struggle kind of game.
Yeah, they were no success early, and they got in that rhythm throwing the ball, and they haven't gone back to it yet.
Cam's throw is incomplete off the hands of Ed Dixon, the backup tight end. In fact, to talk about tight end, Greg Olsen has 3 catches along with Jericho Cotry, and they're the leading receivers for the Panthers. Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate with 4 catches each for Detroit.
You talked about that lack of a running game so far, Chris. So you start out the second half, first down, 0 yards. Second down, you have to throw, and now you're stuck with the 3rd and long situation, 3rd and impossible situation after that sack. Carolina putting themselves in a hole to start this second half.
They need to get up to the 20-yard line, to the 30, for the first down. A little shovel pass to Mike Tolbert, who was spun down short of the 20, and it'll be a punting situation. Here comes Brad Norton.
They were just trying to give themselves some room there. Good play sniffing that out by DeAndre Levy. He's all over the field for these Lions.
Jeremy Ross standing back inside the 35 of Detroit. The Lions looking for a jolt somehow. Missed opportunities. A couple of field goals. The Calvin Johnson drop in the end zone initially ruled a touchdown by one official, but when he completed the process of the catch, he didn't have the football. Booted out of there. Waving people away on the sideline. Whistled down and spotted where the official is at the 37-yard line. Here comes Matt Stafford. So far, nothing on the board.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine. By Papa John's, official pizza sponsor of the NFL. By all the Old Spice products, which you should use all over your body. And by the Lincoln Motor Company and the first ever MKC.
Here in Charlotte, just down the road from the NASCAR Hall of Fame. You can always see the Daytona 500 in NASCAR on Fox in February. The Lions on first down give to Reggie Bush. It's up near the 40-yard line. The officials during the timeout were checking their audio communication, and one of the good things this year is they have a chance through headsets to talk to each other, which is clarity above the crowd and the noise of the stadium.
It just makes it easier for them to get, communications with each other. Years before, the past years, they had to physically walk over to one another and confirm with each other, but now they can just do it. Wonders of technology.
We've had a few calls where one official called it one way, the other called it another way, and they were able to work it out and ultimately make the correct call. Stafford, incomplete. Trying to get it to Golden Tate if you're interested in the halftime numbers. And see, look at those rush yards for at least the Panthers, and we know they're without D'Angelo Williams, but they like to run the ball more, and that one turnover has helped keep the Lions off the scoreboard.
Yeah, the formula for Carolina has always been to run the football and play good defense. Not getting that today. Defense is showing up. Cam Newton's had some to work his arm today. And Matthew Stafford and that Lions offense struggled to run the ball last week, and they're struggling again so far earlier this week. Jordan Bell and Reggie Bush going to have to contribute, keep this game in balance.
Third down at 7. for Calvin Johnson, reaching up high. That 6'5" frame on Antoine Cason, who's about 6'1", and he made the grab.
I tell you what, it was
a first down catch.
Watch this throw. You know, you talk fundamentals with your little league or even high school coaches. Step into the ball, let it go, hips, all that other stuff. Matthew Stafford is so talented. I know they try to get him out of that, but he has the ability just to flick the ball down the field. And it was a great catch also by Calvin Johnson.
Spotted just inside the midfield stripe on first down. Bell as a hole. Joig Bell with a first down. Gets inside the 38-yard line of Carolina. That might be the best run of the day.
That is the best run of the day. And coming after a big completion, you know, offenses like to be able to exert their will on the team that you're playing against. And the best way to do it that I know of, Chris, is turning around and handing the ball off to your running back. That front four and that pulling tight end there seals off that edge. It gives Joig Bell some running room.
A 12-yard pickup, first down. Calvin Johnson, 5 catches in the game. Stafford completes. Jeremy Ross gets down inside the 25. It's another first down for the Lions.
Good job there by Matthew Stafford stepping up into that pocket, giving his receiver just a little bit more time to get open. Look at this. Comfortable, knows where he wants to get rid of the ball and just throwing darts right now. He's been doing it all day, been moving the ball. They're approaching the red zone near this 20-yard line. They need to be able to convert right here, Chris. They can't come up empty again on a trip down here.
Spotted at the 24 after a gain of 14. Stafford throws, tipped, and he held on somehow. Eric Ebron, after the ball was tipped. Looked like maybe A.J. Klein first got his hands on the football, but Ebron stayed with it.
Yeah, A.J. Klein, you see him right here. Look at that. Doesn't get any easier than that. Ball's coming right to you. Misses it, and great concentration by the rookie Eric Ebron here. Like I said earlier, he struggled a little bit in preseason, but he's come up with 2 huge catches so far today, Chris.
Gain of 17, first and goal, Lions from the 7. Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush dancing to the 1-yard line. That's his best run of the day. We saw Joig Bell with his best run and Joe Lombardi dialing up the right plays down here.
Yeah, that was a nice run there. You know, I think good football teams want to run the ball in the red zone. You turn around, hand it to Reggie Bush. Not only can he run with power, man, he is so elusive. All these Carolina Panthers got a hand on him, and he still got down to the 1-yard line. Joig Bell comes into the game. They got a fullback and 3 tight ends. They're going to try to pound it in here.
Stafford to throw, and does. Open is Jed Collins. That's a touchdown, Lions.
You give the illusion of run, put the big boys in, the tight ends, the extra tackle. You have your fullback and you fake it 260 pounds into the flat. Touchdown for Detroit.
Joe Lombardi aware that the Panther defense had allowed just 2 rushing touchdowns in the last 13 games. So why even risk it down here? Punch it in, and now with this extra point from Nate Freeze, the Lions can have a 1-point lead. We always talk about halftime adjustments. Well, the Lions offense adjusted and has the lead here in Carolina. Jed Collins, the one-time Saint, was also with the Cleveland Browns with his 8th career touchdown. And on that drive, Matthew Stafford, 4 out of 5 and hit 4 different receivers, and we saw the Lions run the ball much more efficiently.
I think we see the importance of running the football in the NFL. A lot of teams don't do it well, and then they just give up on it. It was nice of Joe Lombardi to still turn around and hand the ball off, even though they hadn't had success, and I think it helped.
Carolina will take over at the 20-yard line for the first time, trailing after Jed Collins reached the end zone and cradled the baby.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL.
Glad to have you watching from Charlotte, North Carolina and Bank of America Stadium. The Lions with the lead for the first time today. First down from the 20. Jonathan Stewart the back for Cam Newton. Stewart the carry. And Stewart fights hard to get across the 26-yard line. Jonathan Stewart, who had battled ankle injuries throughout past couple of seasons.
Look at the attention that Ndamukong Suh gets. There's at least 3 or 4 guys that put some sort of body part on him there. You're as dominant as he is. It makes no sense to turn your protection away from him. You got to get somebody or some bodies to disrupt him.
A healthy pickup on first down. 2nd and 3. Cam Newton comes the other way, and wide open is Greg Olsen. And Greg Olsen is going to go out of bounds around the 45-yard line. Tahir Whitehead ran him out.
Good little play fake here. See, Greg Olsen's on the other side of the field. He's right here. Play action gets everybody committed to go into that way, and he sneaks out under the line and is wide open in the flat. Nobody from Detroit was accounted for him.
A gain of 19. Ron Rivera said that Olsen studies so well, he always knows exactly where to be at exactly the right time. From the 46th of Carolina. Pressure on Cam Newton, and he can't get away. Stephen Tulloch.
That was a big blown assignment there. Cam Newton with the play action away. Didn't even see Stephen Tulloch coming wide open. See, Tulloch is right here. And it looks like the tackle and guard there, miscommunication. One of them had to account for him, and they both went down on Jason Jones there. It's just how you draw it up. Your defensive coordinator, Terrell Austin.
3rd sack of the game, a 15-yard loss. Time from the pocket for Tolbert incomplete. The coverage was good by DeAndre Levy. It'll be 3rd down and 25. Do you sense, we use the word often, momentum shift? You played down on the field for 16 years.
There's definitely something going on, especially with the big plays in Detroit's defense there. The 2 sacks that we've seen so far in this half. Now, this offense only gave up 1 sack last week against Carolina or against Tampa Bay, and today they're succumbing a little bit to when Detroit brings some pressure. 3rd and 25 here. There's not many calls for Mike Shula. They're just going to try to get out of this without creating any more damage.
From the 30, Cam Newton backing up and completes underneath to Mike Tolbert, who gets up across the 40. Well short, and here comes the punting unit for Carolina, Brad Nordman. Cam Newton now 15 out of 23. The only turnover of this game, a lost fumble by the Lions. Back to return is Jeremy Ross, standing inside his 15-yard line. 3rd quarter has belonged to the Lions so far. Ross gets away. Can he turn the corner and get out of bounds? He does, up across the 26-yard line. A sweet return by Jeremy Ross. We have an injured player, and we will check on that as the Lions, who have the lead, take over on offense. This October, history will be made as baseball's postseason moves to America's new sports network, Fox Sports 1. It's your new home for baseball's National League Division and Championship Series. It begins this October. And Nevin Lawson being taken from the field, so that's the second nickelback in as many weeks Bill Bentley lost in the opener for the Detroit Lions. From the 27-yard line.
That could be bothersome down the road there. Cassius Vaughn is up this week, and they don't have much depth in that secondary, Chris.
Stafford under pressure. Batted in the air. And incomplete. Ben Wickery came in, the nickelback, who Coach Ron Rivera said is a Rondé Barber type player, and he batted the football.
I definitely like playing in the backfield. This is a good play by Ben Wickery. Star Lotulelei, if he gets his head around, this could have been an even huger play.
Second down 10 from the 27 of Detroit. Stafford has put the ball up 30 times today. Has time. Low for Bell. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Chris, the Carolina Panthers have 5 defensive backs on the field. We keep saying this. Only 2 receivers on the field. When you get an offense that is so committed to throwing the football, I think it's smart to keep that 5th defender out there. Ben Wickery has been all over the field trying to cover up lanes to Calvin Johnson. He did a good job right there. He's in the slot now.
Time for Stafford. Pass in the air and incomplete. He drilled it for Calvin Johnson. Melvin White was right there with him.
Yeah, this is a really good play by Melvin White. Calvin Johnson sits down. Watch him drive on this ball and get there at the last second with his right hand and pop that out. Almost caused an interception. That ball floating around the other side of the field. Good stop there by Carolina's defense. Keep them backed up. Detroit had been moving the ball at will so far in this half, and they needed to stop, and they got it there.
Sam Martin, drafted out of Appalachian State, not too far from here, a few hours, Boone, North Carolina, who also does the kickoffs with the punt. And Philly Brown takes it in. He spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Panthers trying to win their 7th straight regular season home game, make it their 8th. Calvin Johnson, the target for most of the day of Stafford, couldn't hang on to a touchdown pass in the end zone, had that one batted away.
Those numbers tell a little bit of the tale what's going on with Detroit's offense right now.
Cam Newton's going to throw again and completes to Jason Avant. Some blockers, and he gets up near a first down across the 39-yard line before Stephen Tulloch dragged him down.
Cam Newton said we were going to try to get some more of these receivers involved. Last week, it was the Greg Olsen and Kelvin Benjamin show, but today, he's spreading the ball around to all of these receivers. Avant's got 3 catches. Cotchery's got 3. Tolbert's 3. Greg Olsen, again, the leading receiver with 4. It's nice showing so far by Cam.
Pass is caught. Cotchery has it up near midfield. One side of the field had a first down. The other side of the field had a second down. Cam Newton disregarded both and completed the pass. The officiating crew should make that clear for the teams down on the field.
They need to make it clear for us up here, too.
Well, it's spotted at midfield right now, and it is a 1st and 10. Without a huddle to the line, here's Cam Newton. Tolbert the carry. Here comes a flag.
Ryan Khalil looking incredulously back at the officials.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The call on Nick Fairley, former Auburn teammate of Cam Newton.
That could have been why Khalil was looking back. Hey, you just punched me in the face. You gonna call that? Of course they did. It's emphasis this year in the NFL.
Tolbert holding, getting some assistance with his left arm in pain. Already D'Angelo Williams is inactive because of a thigh bruise. Pass is caught by Greg Olsen. He continues to get open week in, week out, year in, year out.
There's no more consistent player on this football team, either side of the ball, I guess you could say, Luke, but definitely on offense than Greg Olsen. He is certainly one of the best tight ends in football, and he continues to prove it to me every single week, Chris.
After a gain of 14, they're inside the 30 of Detroit. Newton's throw. Kelvin Benjamin can't hold on.
I like how Carolina and Mike Shula is calling these quick release balls for Cam Newton. It's one step, firing it out there. It talked about in the second quarter how they picked up the tempo and were able to move the ball down the field. Had a slow start at the beginning of the second half. Go into this tempo, get this offense moving, and get Cam in a comfort level, and you can see how effective it's been them moving the ball down the football field.
Benjamin has one catch today after having 6 in the opeper, his NFL debut. 3 tight ends in for Carolina with Stewart the back. Cam Newton, and open again.
We were talking about rust at the beginning of the game with Cam Newton. It ain't there, buddy. He is letting loose with this cannon of an arm, finding Greg Olsen anytime that he wants. Great play calling by the Panthers, Mike Shula, and great play by this great player, Carolina.
A gain of 20. It's 1st and goal, and Mike Tolbert checks back in just inside the 10-yard line. 6 catches for Olsen so far today. We had a timeout called.
Before the snap, timeout Carolina. This is a 30-second timeout.
Their first timeout of this half used. They will have 2 remaining. 3:19 remaining in the third quarter. 1st and goal for Cam Newton and the Panthers. There's a brand new show coming to Fox that critics are raving about. They're saying things like it's a lightning bolt of fresh air and it has the IT ensemble of the season. So I think you'll want to check out Red Band Society, Wednesday, 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. Let's check in with Jennifer Hale down on the field.
Well, Chris, rookie cornerback Nevin Lawson is back in the locker room with that foot injury and is doubtful to return. Trainers had to cut his shoe off and then brace his shoe for the trip into the locker room, and he was grimacing in pain. Meanwhile, Nick Fairley, defensive lineman, has been out there, but he's fighting through a painful right bicep injury. He had to argue his way into the game and is receiving treatment on the sidelines here and there to keep himself going, Chris.
All right, thank you, Jen, for the updates on the injuries. 2 receivers down on the right side. That's Kelvin Benjamin with Jericho Cotchery. Cam Newton is looking and is brought down back at the 14-yard line by C.J. Mosley. That's the 4th sack for this Lions defense today.
At front of the Panthers offense right now, Brian Khalil, Mini Silatolu, and Trey Turner having problems dealing with C.J. Mosley inside. It's the 2nd sack of the game. And both times there's been some communication issues.
Just beyond the 14-yard line, Benjamin will come to the right of Cam Newton, bottom of your screen. 2 receivers up at the top. That's Cotchery and Avant, and Stewart in the back. Time, throws towards the end zone. Touchdown! Jason Avant.
Really impressive, Chris. Cam Newton on that drive looked confident in the pocket. Found the guys that he wanted. The new addition, Jason Avant, that little head fake outside, sticks it back in, and the ball is delivered right into his chest for a touchdown. Great play by Carolina.
And worth repeating when Cam Newton said after Friday's practice, I know they're veterans, Jericho Cotchery and Jason Avant, but I am expecting a breakout game for those guys. Graham Goddard to try the extra point. First touchdown of this game for the Panthers. They take the 6-point lead with 2:30 to go in the third quarter.
Cam Newton looks so comfortable in the pocket to me, Chris. Those ribs are not an issue today. It's under his right throwing arm. You can't even tell that he's been hurt.
Cam Newton was frustrated when he didn't get the start. He thought, until Ron Rivera and upper management said no, he was going to go. And he said, it wasn't about me. In fact, one of his teammates said, as you see him give the ball to a loyal fan, also wearing the number 1 on the crown, it's not about you, it's about us. One of his teammates reminded him of that quote, and he had to temper his enthusiasm last week for his disappointment and focus on today.
Of course he was disappointed. This guy is a competitor. He's been a champion on all levels. He hasn't missed a start in his entire career until last week. And that's impressive for a guy that's taken 400 some plus hits, that he's able to power through and be as effective as he is. So when Coach Rivera told him last week that he wasn't going to play, of course he was upset. But they went and got the win. He knew that a week more of rest would help him, and it's paying off for him today.
Getting ready to kick off. Graham Gano, who's been Mr. Touchback. Will Jeremy Ross have a chance? No, he won't. So here come the Lions. 2.5 to go in the third. It's the kind of game the Panthers like. It's low scoring. They're at home. They want their defense to control things. So if you're Matthew Stafford, you've already in the third quarter punched 1 touchdown in with the touchdown toss. Where are you going now?
Well, to me, of course, it's on Matt Stafford and this offense to move this ball down the field. But this Carolina defense has been dominant in 2 games so far. I expect them to have to stand up. Obviously, they're a nickel defense the entire time, no matter what personnel is on the field. Benwickery is out there covering tight ends, covering wide receivers. They know that Detroit is going to throw this football, so they have their best personnel on the field for it.
Stafford does come out throwing to Calvin Johnson, who gets across the 30, knocked out short of the 35. The Lions pick up a first down. The Lions have run for 50 yards today. Carolina's run for only 32. Calvin Johnson has 6 catches. Greg Olsen leads Carolina with 6.
Detroit has a chance to still be patient here. There's no need to rush here with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. They can continue to establish this run, if you ask me, and let that play off the pass.
Joique Bell to carry. Not a lot of running room as he heads toward Thomas Davis and into his arms. That's the 8th carry for Bell today, averaging 3 yards a pop. Reggie Bush, that was actually his 9th. Reggie Bush has carried 6 times, mixing up the run, but mostly a throwing game for both of these offenses.
It has been. It's because they haven't found any success moving the big defensive linemen on either side of the ball. All 6 tackles that have played in this game are tough to run against.
Need to get to the 44 of Detroit for a first down. On second down, Bell, extra effort there, and he does get across the 45 to get the first down. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee for a game break.
Hey, how about this? The Browns have regained the lead against the Saints. Terrence West, 3rd-round pick out of Towson, gets his first NFL touchdown. Good little dance. 23-17. Cleveland leads it in the third. Chris and Rondé.
Thanks, Kurt. So in the NFC South, the Saints are trailing. The Falcons are trailing. They won on opening day, remember, against New Orleans. Cincinnati with a 24-3 lead over Atlanta. Buccaneers play later at home against the Rams. The Vikings are trailing. New England 27-7. In the NFC North, the Packers play later. Chicago plays later. Pass is caught by Jack Collins. Interesting using the fullback. He did have the touchdown pass, but with all the choices out there on the field for Stafford.
I think that's part of his development too. There was a time with Matt Stafford, it seemed like every attempt down the field was going to either Calvin Johnson or somebody pushing it down the field. But I think as he grows, he'll understand that ball to the flat to the fullback is just as effective as a play down the field.
And the Lions are going to let the clock run out. And at the end of the third quarter, Carolina has a 13-7 lead in the Panthers home opener. But the Lions have the football. Fox NFL Sunday returns in just a moment. With Jennifer Hale, Rondé Barber, Chris Myers, nice to have you watching the NFL on Fox here from Charlotte, North Carolina. Cam Newton is with the Panthers in front. trying to win their 8th straight regular season home game. They lost here in the playoffs, of course, and lost in their home opener last year against Seattle. Other than that, they've been successful. Stafford underneath. Reggie Bush gets onto the Carolina side of the field where Luke Kuechly makes the play.
Getting into the fourth quarter here, Chris. I think Joe Lombardi is going to try his best to get all his weapons involved here. You never know which one is going to be the most important at the end of the game.
3rd down and 5. From the 49 of Carolina, Stafford hesitates, is on the run, and he's going to go down. And Juan Edwards gets Carolina's first sack of the game.
Here we go. Look, Carolina showing 2 deep safeties. They have man underneath coverage, and there's no way for him to throw this ball. See, Golden Tate got open there late, but the pressure was on Matthew Stafford too quickly. They get the sacking off on 3rd down.
A loss of 15. Sam Martin will boot it out of there. Philly Brown, what a kick, backing up. Drove this ball into the end zone. And that'll set up Carolina at the 20-yard line. A 64-yard punt for the former Appalachian State star, Sam Martin.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Domino's. Oh, yes, we did. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Our aerial coverage today provided by DirecTV. Panthers won their opener at Tampa Bay. This is the home opener with a 6-point lead on the Lions, who won their home opener Monday night against the Giants when they put up 35. It's a much different type of game today.
Playing a much better defense today, Chris.
Giants do have a 1-point lead over Arizona in the fourth quarter of their game, 14-13. First down from the 20. And off Jonathan Stewart. There's a little bit of a delay.
This is the point in the game, if you're Carolina, where you're thinking to yourself, if we can pop off a long, time-consuming drive, go down, get any points, you give yourself a great chance to win this football game. We'll see if Cam Newton and this offense can get out of this backed-up situation and give themselves an opportunity to do just that.
Cam Newton throws. Tough catch for Kelvin Benjamin, excuse me, and it'll be 3rd down and 11. In the last drive, it was well executed. Cam Newton throwing more than running.
Yeah, the 2 drives that I've been impressed with today have all been on the strength of Cam Newton's arm, finding tight ends, finding his receiver, Jason Avant there for a touchdown. I'm impressed, Chris. I didn't know how he would be. He didn't look particularly sharp in the preseason this year. Had the ankle injury, had the rib injury, but he's come out today and been excellent so far.
He needs a first down here. Time and floating it deep for Benjamin. Tipped away and incomplete. Coverage. Abdul Kaduz and Rasheed Mathis back there with the 6'5" rookie from Florida State.
Yeah, tough duty there by Rasheed Mathis. You see him on the line of scrimmage. They're playing straight up man-to-man. That safety comes out of the hole to help him. Look at the old man corner going up against the young rookie. Makes a nice play to get them off on 3rd down.
Forced to punt. The Lions defense digs in, giving the offense an opportunity to get the ball back here as Northman bangs a high kick. Jeremy Ross at the 35 to the 40, trying to put a move on, and a healthy return up near the 48-yard line. We have an injured Carolina Panther. Mozzie Whitaker is in pain for Carolina. A 14-yard return on that punt of 47 yards. Panthers lead 13-7. Fozzie Whitaker helped off the field. The last time the Lions and Panthers met, it was entirely different, November of 2011. In the second half, Matthew Stafford threw 3 touchdown passes and Kevin Smith ran for 2. The Lions rallied to get 35 second-half points and win 49-35. In that game, Stafford threw for 5 touchdowns, 3 times in his career. He's thrown for 5 touchdowns in a game. Very different today. He has 1 touchdown pass, and the Panthers are down to just a healthy Jonathan Stewart and Mike Tolbert. D'Angelo Williams is inactive, and now Fozzie Whitaker helped off the field.
Yeah, Fozzie Whitaker looked like he had a little bit of a quad strain there on that punt. But yeah, Mike Tolbert, who was injured a little bit earlier. Jonathan Stewart, as you see right there, the only 2 healthy backs for this Carolina offense. See if that story plays itself out here as into this 4th quarter.
But the Lions in great field position, trailing by 6. Stafford to throw, and he's going deep. Calvin Johnson, middle of the field, tipped away and intercepted. The Panthers have a takeaway with Melvin White. Thomas Daku tipped it, and Melvin White grabbed the deflection.
Matthew Stafford makes a bad decision here. Carolina is playing basically double covering Calvin Johnson, and this was one of the things that Matt Stafford used to do all the time, just force the ball to Calvin. Even when he's covered, he felt like he was open. But Thomas Daku gets in front of that ball, and Melvin White, Johnny on the spot, coming from the other side of the field to snag that interception. Huge play by Carolina.
Second takeaway of this game for the Panthers. Remember, they had 3 in the opener. And Lion fans are saying just what you mentioned. Matthew Stafford trying to force the ball to Calvin Johnson. Of course, that looked like it may have been a little underthrown. Had he led him more, maybe Calvin gets to that. But from the 30-yard line, Jonathan Stewart will have to carry the load on the ground. Cam Newton throws and it's dropped. Kelvin Benjamin.
Kelvin Benjamin had a great breakout game last week against Tampa. Today, that's at least the 3rd drop that we've seen from the rookie. I know he's getting the ball thrown to him by a different quarterback today, but that ball was right on target, and so was some of the other ones.
Derek Anderson, of course, led the Panthers to the opening day victory on the road at Tampa. Him and his wife Mallory welcoming daughter Amelia into the world back in August. Congratulations to them. As Whitaker is being taken away for medical purposes. Cam Newton, sideline. Benjamin, did he make that catch? He got his hands on it, and yes, the official says his feet were in, and they both agree on it.
Hey, I know Kelvin Benjamin can't hear us up here, but he looked up and said, hey, I may have dropped 4 passes, but I can still do the spectacular. Look at this one-handed grab, get on the ground. That was an unbelievable catch.
And they're hurrying because they don't want a review or a challenge. Handoff as Newton was falling to the ground. Stewart carries. Let's go back to that catch and take a closer look at his feet.
Yeah, we could talk about the feet on this catch.
I know he reached up and grabbed the football.
He snapped this with
impressive.
one hand, got it back to his body, but his knee hits the ground here, Chris. And I think one knee is 2 feet, so that's a completion, and the elbow's down in bounds.
And both officials right there, one in front and one behind, both ruled catch at the same time.
Now, the only thing could have been whether or not he held this ball all the way to the ground, but they snapped that next play. It doesn't matter now.
Second down, 12. Handoff Tolbert. And he'll be brought down just on the other side of the field in Lion territory by DeAndre Levy. So it'll be 3rd down. Clock continues to run. Under 11 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Panthers protecting a 6-point lead. They led 6-0. Lions score a touchdown in the 3rd quarter on the Stafford pass to his fullback, Jed Collins. And then the touchdown pass from Cam Newton to Jason Avant is the difference right now.
Big play here for the Carolina defense. Look at Greg Olsen right there all by himself. see if he's the target of this play.
Time for Newton. Open and caught. Jason Avant for the first down. A big third down connection. And the Panthers are in field goal range.
Every time we've seen this formation, Greg Olsen has released vertical. There he drags underneath and pulls some of that coverage out. And who's there? Jason Avant running in behind that second level of defense for the Detroit Lions. Goes up and makes a great catch for the first down.
A 21-yard pickup down to the 27 of Detroit.
Ready.
Avant and Kadri have combined for 9 catches today.
Ready. Ready.
Stewart. Big hole, Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan Stewart out of the 5.
Going to be a great picture here, Chris. Watch this. Terrell Olsen, the defensive coordinator, calls a blitz. You see all these Detroit Lions entering into this screen, and they all run right past Jonathan Stewart, and that hole is gaping. Nobody there.
He had 7 carries for 5 yards. He picked up 22 on this. And now first and goal from the 5. 3 tight ends. Cam Newton. Newton for the end zone. Stopped short. It'll be second and goal.
Cam Newton coming up limping after that run. You see the end of this play.
You think this was a designed run, or was he supposed to throw it on this call?
I think he was supposed to throw this, but his knee hit the ground pretty hard there. But no one can. He's not coming out of this football game right now.
Well, he picked up 4. 3 tight ends remain in with Tolbert. They're a yard away, and we're going to have a timeout, and the Panthers want it. I think they want to check on Cam Newton. Remember, he had ankle surgery. We've talked about the rib injury. There's Derek Anderson, who led them to victory, playing the entire game last week.
Derek Anderson was really good last week. Cam Newton, he's like, Coach, you're not taking me out of this game right now.
Well, even Ron Rivera, when I said, would you rather he not run as much? He said, I just would rather he slide. And Cam Newton says, I only know one way to play, and that's all out. When you stop to think about things, that's when you're already behind.
Interesting, too. He told us, we asked him, why don't you slide? And he's like, you know what? I'm greedy. He's greedy for the extra yardage. He doesn't want to slide down and have that ball on the ground, mark where he starts his slide. He's a competitor, Chris.
Maybe just to give him a breather, he stays in. Mike Tolbert is knocked backwards. Powering through was Nick Fairley. It'll be third and goal.
Nick Fairley, C.J. Mosley today, and Ndamukong Suh. They've been pretty dominant up front, knocking the offensive line of Carolina back.
Remember, Tolbert was out earlier, missed a few plays. They were checking his arm, looked like his left arm. Here, he's in pain after getting shoved backwards. Ron Rivera out to check on his fullback. Mike Tolbert, a very popular player from coastal Carolina. Former Charger who wanted to come here and be a part of things. D'Angelo Williams looking on.
This game is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving.
Mike Tolbert on the sideline, injured. Fozzie Whitaker, backup running back, is out with a quad strain. D'Angelo Williams inactive with a thigh bruise. So Jonathan Stewart is the only available back for Cam Newton, who is playing with a sore knee. It's third and goal from the 5-yard line. The Panthers under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and Ron Rivera protecting a 6-point lead.
We talked the previous drive about Carolina being able to eat some clock, drive down here and get some points. It'll be important for the Panthers now to be smart with this football and get at least a field goal out of this.
Stewart is in 3 wide receivers, all to the right of Cam Newton.
And again, here's Greg Olsen right here all by himself. He's been the target usually when he's in that position.
For Greg Olsen, here comes a flag. Rashean Mathis ran through him to try to get the football.
Holding. Defense, number 31. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Yeah, there's going to be some protests for this, but he definitely grabs a hold of him as he tries to get through to the football. I know he got his hands on it, but that's an easy call for the back judge there. First down for Carolina.
Well, it was beyond 5 yards when there was contact made. So, a first down for Carolina. First and goal from the 2. Stewart. Extra effort, touchdown Panthers.
I was just getting ready to say, Chris, is an opportunity to go for 2, puts them up by 2 full touchdowns. But Jonathan Stewart, he is the X factor of this offense. Years past when he's been hurt, the running game hasn't been as effective, but today he is just bouncing off anybody that gets in his way. 2, 3, 4 Detroit Lions trying to get him on the ground, Chris, and none of them can stop him. This offense is on full cylinders right now. Great drive, great touchdown for the Panthers.
And you saw Ron Rivera quickly say, let's go for 2. Newton throws, got it! That's Jericho Cotchery. And it's a 21-7 Carolina lead.
Cam Newton showing us all today.
He's giving footballs away like it's candy.
He's showing us today just the type of quarterback he can be. 306 total yards, 250 of those on Cam Newton's arm, and Jericho Cotchery, the big addition in the offseason because of his possession skills. Sure-handed catch, great play, great drive again by the Panthers to get them up by 2 touchdowns.
Jennifer Hale reporting the wind knocked out of Mike Tolbert. He could return, and again, the only available back for the Panthers, Jonathan Stewart, scoring the touchdown and then the 2-point conversion. And important in the big picture because under 7.5 to play, and it's a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, that was definitely a gut check drive by the Carolina Panthers. It's not going to show up in the stats with Jonathan Stewart. He only has 29 rushing yards, but they've been tough running yards, and that touchdown was huge for Carolina there.
A chance for the return, something we haven't seen all day from Jeremy Ross on a kickoff, and maybe that's one of the reasons why. Excellent field position. The ball came out. He lost the football across the 30. And yeah, the Carolina Panthers come up with it. Graham Gano, the kicker, came out of there with a football.
Looking like a big return for the Detroit Lions here, but as he goes to the ground, I can't see who had his arm in there pulling that out.
Looked like Ben Jacobs, the reserve linebacker, may have pulled it out, but Graham Gano.
This Panthers football team, defense last week and this week, and special teams right now coming up with turnovers to help them secure victories. That's a huge play for this team. Carolina, Cam Newton right now can again milk some more time off this clock. Help them secure a victory today at home.
Cam Newton to throw. If he can, he is going to be knocked down. Here comes a flag back at midfield. And Dominican Sue and Devin Taylor were back there.
Curious play calling there, Chris. I've been pretty complimentary, but dropping back on 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line.
Personal foul, I'm sorry. Tripping. Defense, number 92. 10-yard penalty. First down.
They get away with it because of the tripping foul. The top of your screen. You see him up here. Not sure how that's tripping.
Well, it looked like he stuck his leg out, but
as he's getting blocked, though, Chris. Well, whatever.
Well, it's the 5th penalty, and it's a big one because instead of being back at midfield, the Panthers are up at the 23-yard line. Jim Caldwell does not like the call.
Let's see if Mike Shula calls a running play now. See, at this point in the game, you just want to milk this out. I know you want to score, but you got 2 touchdown lead right now. Protect the ball and your field position.
Jonathan Stewart knocked down short of the 20-yard line.
And conversely, this is a huge point in the game for this Detroit Lions defense. They must stop him and force a field goal attempt. If they score another touchdown here, this game's all but done.
Well, it may be anyway, even though the Lions have a quick strike-scoring offense. They haven't been able to do that against Ron Rivera's defense today. 6 takeaways in 2 games for the Carolina Panthers. When they need to seal it in the 4th quarter, like we saw last week, the fumble caused by Luke Kuechly against Tampa Bay, they seem to come up with the play. Stewart trying to find room. It'll be 3rd down, and the clock continues to run. It'll be under 6 minutes here.
Carolina fans at home and in the stadium right now are going tick, 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 tick.
And Detroit fans are wondering, Nate Freese, the drafted kicker from Boston College, who was so good as a senior, missing 2. Yeah, they were long, 49-yard field goals, but it makes a difference in a game when you had Jason Hansen for 21 years, a reliable Lion. And at this stage of the game, the Lions, the clock, and the Panthers, their enemy.
Yeah, there's 2 field goals on the board now. Detroit would only have an 8.1 score game. As it stands, they need a stop on defense, and they got it right there.
And the dropped touchdown pass by Calvin Johnson when he did have it, and just did not complete the process, something that will haunt him, that probably still does, going back to when the rule was reinterpreted initially with him in that game against the Chicago Bears. So here comes Graham Gano, who came up with the fumble recovery. Remember last week he was dancing with the band at halftime in Tampa Bay. And today he's singing a different tune. Good 38 yards, and it's now 24-7 Carolina.
We talked early in this half about Joe Lombardi and that Detroit Lions defense being able to be patient. Well, that's out of the window now with that long touchdown drive and turnover and on the kickoff and that field goal there. They got to get back into this game, and they got to get some quick strikes like you said earlier. Calvin Johnson, he's been targeted a lot, but he hasn't come down with a whole bunch of big plays. Golden Tate has completely disappeared in the second half. Haven't called his name yet. Matt Stafford's got his work cut out for him here these last 4.5 minutes of this game.
Golden Tate had 4 catches in the opening quarter, and he has not had a catch since. And as you pointed out, feeling that maybe Stafford has forced the ball into the direction of Calvin Johnson, suffering an interception and 2 lost fumbles on the part of the Lions. Jeremy Ross responsible for one of those on the return. And the Panthers now lead in time of possession, as well as rather dominant on the scoreboard at 24-7.
Yeah, that time possession was really skewed the first half the other way. And they've since overtaken it by some great drives by Cam Newton. But now it's Matt Stafford's turn to see if he can drive his team down and get this game interesting.
Week 2 in the NFL continuing later today on CBS. For some of you on Fox, and then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. Well, if any team has the amount of offensive talent to strike quick, Joe Lombardi has those tools with Matthew Stafford. But they've been throwing all game and have produced just 1 touchdown against this Panther defense.
Yeah, some of these other guys are going to have to stand up. I think at this point in the game, we'll see Carolina spend a lot of attention on Calvin Johnson.
Stafford underneath, if he can hang on, and he can, is Brandon Pettigrew, who does not have a catch today. Stafford 21 out of 37. 229 yards. The touchdown pass to his fullback, Jed Collins. Panthers have over 300 total yards. The Lions 276. Stafford will keep and slide and get hit after the slide, and yes, there should be a flag. It was an obvious slide, and Dwan Edwards got there a little late.
A definite penalty there, unnecessary by Dwan Edwards. I tell you, Matt Stafford's lucky he didn't get
Personal foul.
hurt here.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 92. Blow to the head of a sliding quarterback. 15-yard penalty. First down.
15-yard penalty is going to be a significant fine in his locker at some point this week. But yeah, the helmet to helmet on his neck as it's going forward. Yeah, he's lucky he didn't hurt himself. Even worse right there.
Ball spotted up at the 43 for Detroit. 4.5 minutes to go. Stafford knocked away. Luke Kuechly back in coverage. Here comes Luke from the hometown fans. Eric Ebron was the target.
Tell you what, this is an outstanding play. You'll see this run right there, and Kuechly just comes in here and makes an unbelievable play on this seam route. They're playing cover two, the two high safeties. Luke Kuechly's responsible for the middle of the field. An outstanding play. He looked like Superman. He changed out of that Clark Kent gear. He's clearly man of steel or tackles or whatever we labeled him earlier in the game.
He's the man of defense for Carolina. Stafford, here comes the flag, and he goes down. A second flag comes in back at the 36-yard line.
Holding, offense, number 70. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, third down.
John, the right tackle filling in, Garrett Reynolds, whom we talked about at the beginning of the game, playing because of injury. He played his college football at North Carolina. Stafford, the pressure is on again, and he's going to go down in the arms of Mario Addison.
Great rush there by Mario Addison. That left defensive end out there working. Attacking that right tackle again. Garrett Reynolds, who's getting his first start today. He had no chance. He was by him in a heartbeat. Huge stop for Carolina. This defense, when it matters, is tougher than any team in the NFL. They were dominant last year, leading the league in sacks, or second in the league in sacks. They've been so far today as well.
Sam Martin to punt. Philly Brown has it and slides down inside the 25. We have an injured player. We'll check on him, and let's first check with Joel Klatt. Joel?
All right, Chris, let's go out to Cleveland, where the Saints have come all the way back in this game. They were down 16-3, but Mark Ingram, he plunges in, his third score of the season. They're up by 1 at the 2-minute warning over Cleveland. Back to Carolina. Chris and Rondé.
Thanks, Joel. And the Atlanta Falcons, who started with a victory, are losing at the 6-minute mark in Cincinnati by a couple of touchdowns. So the Carolina Panthers, who already beat Tampa Bay last week, and the Bucs play at home against the Rams later on Fox. The Panthers will be, should they hang on here, 2-0 and leading the NFC South. Our injured player is Travis Lewis on the special teams play. And we will have more from Charlotte in a moment. And Lewis being helped off the field for the Detroit Lions, under 3.5 to play. Tight end, fullback / H-back Richie Brockle in to help Carolina with Jonathan Stewart, the running back. Luke Kuechly, 10 tackles today and a couple of passes deflected for that Carolina defense. Again, they have as a team 3 takeaways. trying to ice the victory here. And Stewart gets the carry. Mentioned as we get a timeout here from Detroit, the takeaways for the Carolina Panthers in the fourth quarter, first in Tampa Bay, and we saw it here today.
Yeah, last week, strip on Bobby Rainey sealed that victory. Today, the strip on special teams led to a field goal that made this a 17-point game. This Carolina defense special teams unit is always playing at a high level, and in order to win games in the NFL against good football teams, and this Detroit Lions looked like a good football team last week. They have been rendered pretty useless today by that Carolina defense.
Well, as you know, it's a week-to-week kind of league, but what has stayed constant is this Carolina defense. Whether they were on the road or home, changing quarterbacks, doesn't matter. The defense has done its job. Stewart carries. Last year, they had the second best defense. The most important statistic is, of course, points allowed, and they were behind Seattle as the Lions use another timeout. They have one remaining, allowing just 15 points a game.
Yeah, Ron Rivera's formula is just that. Play great defense, create turnovers, be efficient on offense, which Cam Newton has done today.
You may have seen Ron Rivera in those commercials about the military. His father, Gino, proud father, 33 years as an officer in the Army, and Ron openly admits, hey, I was an Army brat. When I say that, I mean you move around a lot. You have to make adjustments. And he certainly has, proud of our armed forces and his father. I'm sure his dad, Gino, is proud of what he's done here. On 3rd and 11. 3:16 in the fourth. Jonathan Stewart. That'll be the last timeout for Detroit. It will be 4th down. The final timeout for the Lions.
Yeah, very impressive numbers today, Chris. Those 3 takeaways, to me, are the difference in this game. Obviously, we know they're stout up front. Those rushing yards allowed are an important stat as well.
The 3 sacks all coming in the second half. And Greg Olsen, again, the leading receiver for the Panthers with 6 catches on offense. His son, TJ, just got a pacemaker. Difficult. He's just about 2 years old, battling a heart illness and has had numerous surgeries. There's a charity event tomorrow in Charlotte to help that fund. Jeremy Ross back to receive the punt. TJ's hardest yard is for the Greg Olsen Foundation. Lee Bryce performing in that concert, and he's had the support of ownership and the team here, and said to me before the game, hey, we're just hoping every day, him and his wife Kara, his son TJ getting the pacemaker, and Jerry Richardson supportive of whatever Greg Olsen and his family need, and hoping for the best. And they're also contributing with that charity to the Carolina hospitals here to help other children and their families who are in need. Just over 3 minutes here. Lions are out of timeouts. Incomplete. Trying to go to Eric Ebron.
Well, the second half has been all about this Lions offense being completely off kilter. Talked about guys not showing up, but the 6 drops now are just unacceptable for this football team. You got to give your quarterback some help. And so far today, he's had none.
And the Lions had no drops officially in the Monday night win at home against the Giants. Pass is caught by Bell. He'll have room for the first down across the 40. Well, Matthew Stafford, as the ball juggled at the end of that, Matthew Stafford said it is a new offense. There's new terminology. He wasn't making excuses, but it's a process that obviously he and his teammates have to get used to under offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi.
And certainly they'll get better as the year goes on, but this season's going now. You know, they had a big win last week against a bad New York Giants team. They come and face a good defense in Carolina, and they don't show up.
Bell gets out of bounds. It's another first down in Carolina territory, and obviously the Panthers in a prevent defense. We saw a bit of this last week when they had shut out the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this is not the time of the game when you have 2.5 minutes left and you're up by 17 points to challenge any throws. You just want to keep it in front of you. Come up and make tackles. That's what they'll do. Keep those safeties high. We know Calvin Johnson can get behind any defense, but they're willing to let all these balls be caught in front of them. Just keep the big plays in check.
Stafford throws behind Bell and repeatedly throwing underneath here. Well, in the NFC North, the Vikings, who won their opener, are losing 30-7 at home against the Patriots with under 2 minutes to play. The Packers, who lost their opener, will be home later today against the Jets, and the Bears, who lost their opener, are on the road against the 49ers.
Coach Caldwell will have a lot of teaching tape. He said it wasn't perfect even last week in that dominant win over the Giants. Today they'll go home after this game if they end up losing, which it looks like they will, and have a lot even more to evaluate.
Stafford on the run, and he goes down. Mario Addison.
We knew they were going to struggle up front a little bit with their injuries. On the right side with Garrett Reynolds. This is the rookie Lucas in now, and he's 6'9", big but not ready.
Fourth sack of the game. Addison has had 2.5 for the Panthers. We welcome you back in Charlotte for the Lions, who will fall to 1-1. They have the Packers at home, and then against the Jets, home with Buffalo and at Minnesota. On 3rd and 23, the screen set up to Bell. Bell has a lot of room. It's to the 41 of Carolina, but short to bring up a fourth down. And for the Panthers, who are set to go to 2-0 to start the season, the defending NFC South champions, hosting the Steelers, and then at Baltimore, home with the Bears, and at Cincinnati. On fourth down, they need to get down to the 37-yard line for a first down. Floated for Bell, who leaped to make the catch. Thomas Davis was right there with him.
Great catch. Great catch. Unbelievable coverage there. You know, he caught 500 yards with the balls last year. That's the reason why.
State Farm postgame show coming up next. Arizona beat the Giants. They're 2-0. Giants are 0-2. Pass underneath. Caught by Bell, and Davis delivers the hit. One of the captains on this Panther team. The Cowboys got their first win of the year, winning in Tennessee. Each of those teams 1-1. And the Cleveland Browns adding a late field goal on New Orleans with seconds remaining. Stafford behind and incomplete.
Another example of Stafford there throwing, just flicking his arm at the receiver. He gets the incomplete pass. This Carolina defense, though, give them credit. They had a gunslinger in here with a bunch of targets, and they stood up today.
And they, by many, we mentioned last week against Tampa Bay, changes in the secondary, adding veterans like Roman Harper and Thomas Deku, but many not real positive about the Panthers' chances to repeat in the NFC South. They've never had back-to-back winning seasons in Carolina, or go to the playoffs, obviously, in back-to-back seasons. Pass is almost intercepted as Stafford gets rid of it. The producer today, Mike Burks, director Michael Frank, associate director Tavis Strand, broadcast associate Mike Strack. As you get a look at some of the crew, they work so hard to enjoy bringing you the NFL on Fox every weekend. Our technical producer Tom Lynch, technical director Ernest Bauer, our audio mixer is Kevin McCloskey. In the booth with stats and spotting, we appreciate James Petralka, Rick Odioso, Jennifer Hale on the field, Rondé Barber up here with me in a game that, no matter how you slice it, the Panthers defense and Cam Newton stole the show as Golden Tate makes a catch, his first since the opening quarter.
Carolina's going to come away with a victory here. A lot of credit to that defense, but Cam Newton was the man today. 250 yards passing the football and looked very efficient. The rust was not there. Give him a lot of credit coming back after sitting out a week at Tampa last week and getting another victory for the Carolina Panthers.
First 2-0 start since 2008. Derek Anderson engineered the opening Sunday, the home opener. Cam Newton, despite injuries in the offensive backfield, the Panthers had enough. They only rushed for 61 yards today, but their defense with those 3 takeaways and solid kicking. And Carolina is 2-0 with a 24-7 win over the Lions. Detroit slips to 1-1. We will have more from Bank of America Stadium. You're watching the NFL on Fox.